A Baptist in a Methodist church. I mean, that's great. It's not quite as amazing as it would have been 40 years ago, but we all get on very well now. There was an Anglican, a Methodist, and a Baptist minister who all went fishing together in the harbour in a boat. And the Methodist ran out of bait, so he just walked on the water, bought some bait, walked back and carried on fishing. And the Baptist ran out of bait, so he got out of the boat, walked on water, came back, carried on fishing. Then the poor Anglican ran out of bait and he didn't know what to do, but he didn't want to be shown up, so he got out of the boat and down he went. And they pulled him back into the boat, dripping and spluttering. When he settled down a bit, the Methodist said to the Baptist, "Shall we tell him about the stepping stones?" And the Baptist said, "What stepping stones?" So I was brought up a Baptist. We were quite isolated and conservative in those days. We didn't have candles on the table at communion because that was Catholic. We never did Lent. But sometimes when we come on something a bit later in life, it actually ends up being more meaningful. And that happened with me and Lent. I came on it quite late in life. And it came to mean a lot to me. So Peter's asked me to share with you why we do Lent, and he'll talk about what we do. But why do we do Lent? And I want to suggest 3 reasons. One I would never have had as a Baptist is tradition. It's a very long tradition. In fact, 2 years from now, it will be 700 years since the Council of Nicaea, near to where the earthquake's taken place, where they formalized Lent as part of the church calendar. And it was already being done before that, so it's 700 plus years. Sorry, that's 1700 plus years, I beg your pardon. And in 400 AD, Augustine, who's a very reasonable bloke, said, other fasts in the Christian calendar are optional, but not to fast during Lent is sinful. That's how serious he took it. And their fast included no alcohol, no meat, and no dairy products, living on vegetables. They did allow salt. That was it. So they took it jolly seriously. So that's tradition. Now, we've got to be careful about tradition. Jesus had quite a lot negative to say about tradition. And tradition, especially if you lose track of why you're doing something, can be quite misleading. There was a little girl watching her mom prepare the roast lamb. I didn't have it often, and when she prepared it, she cut the 2 ends off and put them on the sides. And the little girl said, "Why did you do that?" She said, "Actually, I don't know. Granny used to do it that way." So the girl went and asked Granny, "Why did you cut the roast ends off?" And she said, "Because my roasting pan was too small to take the whole thing." So we must be careful of tradition, but tradition has one very big value, and it's this. In this day and age, there's a kind of philosophy around that if something's older than 20 years old, it's not of any value. For example, how many of you once owned a BlackBerry phone? How many own one now? 20 years old is no good anymore. Philosophy includes if you're over 70, you've got nothing of value to give. And I'll be 76 next week. Tradition acknowledges that the people who've walked this walk before us have something to tell us. Second reason is you want to walk closer to Jesus. You want to follow Jesus. And there are some people who try to literally follow Jesus as much as they can. I know many people who said, "I don't understand the doctrine of child baptism, adult baptism. All I know is Jesus got baptized as an adult, and I want to do whatever he did." And I think that's a pretty good reason. After he was baptized, he went into the wilderness for 40 days and fasted and prayed. And so Lent is doing what Jesus did for 40 days to some extent. And the devil met him there. Be prepared if you set out into Lent seriously wanting to be closer to God. The devil will be there too. So don't be surprised, beloved. Think it not strange concerning the trial, which is to try you. There was a man hunting ducks, and he shot two, and the one was injured and fluttering away, the other one died. And the dog went off and brought back the dead one, laid it at his feet, and the hunter said, "Go for the live one, Rover." Satan goes for the live ones. Don't be surprised. Third, really good reason, I think the best reason for Lent is I want to be closer to God. I want a closer walk with Jesus. So I suggest you pray every day, Lord, I want to see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day. Now, if you want a closer relationship with anyone, you've got to put something in. So in Lent, yes, we give something up. Peter will talk about that. But we also put something in. And so for these 40 days, I want to invite you, for example, to take advantage of everything the church offers you, starting at 6 o'clock on Wednesday. And I imagine special things in Holy Week, you're doing Tenebrae, be there. And then whatever your habit of Bible reading and prayer is, put it up a notch for 40 days. Now, I've done some materials, as Peter said, to help you. Some of you may have done, some of you I know did do. My studies in Mark last year. It was 6 minutes a day watching my study in Mark. And I know that was helpful to some. This year, I'm putting together, it's nearly finished, a series in John chapter 1 to chapter 7. So just go to pastorandyluke.com. If you just Google Pastor Andy Luke, it'll come up, and on the front page you will see those two options. Or you've got some other way, I don't mind, but make a decision. I'm going to put something in because I want a closer relationship with God. And so if you've given up coffee, or in my case, Coke, then you're going to get a craving. But every time you feel that craving, the whole idea is, oh, Lord, I'm in a week where 40 days where I want to be closer. And every time you feel the craving, turn it into a prayer. Lord, I want to see you more clearly, to love you more dearly, to follow you more nearly, day by day.